Okay. Here we go. Into the dark. Maybe. A little bit stuck. Tires when you got ice on the ground. I am without my sidekick for this trip. Staying with trusted alternate. Hey, there's a fucking Christmas tree in the middle of the road. Check this out. Believe this shit? Christmas tree in the middle of the road. It's windy tonight. Anyhow, so my last video I ended up talking about something that I wasn't going to talk about. I talked about addiction versus dependence. I don't know if I got my point across or not, but I'm sure someone will let me know, right? All of my 0 viewership. That's alright. Someday when I'm gone, this channel is gonna blow up. So, what I was gonna talk about, something very dirty. By the way, I don't listen to these videos after I record them. I post them up. I will edit sometimes the beginning or end is long, like if I get the car stuck in a snowbank or something, or I want to pick my butt before, or my nose, my hat, or whatever, before I'll trim it, but I do not listen, because if I listened, I would be totally mortified. I would never post any of this shit, even though it's anonymous. So, what do you think about that? What I was going to talk about was that dirty 4-letter word, sex. Anyway, it doesn't matter how you spell it, it's dirty and it's wrong, and it's a sin and you're going to hell, and it's a sin and you're going to hell, whether you do it or not. It has nothing to do with sex. But, that aside, since we're all going to hell anyway, we're going to talk about sex. Drug addict. There's that word again. I don't know. Being a drug connoisseur. Whatever. You use drugs and sex. How does it affect you? Does it affect you? You think it affects you, or you think it doesn't? What I've found, the big topic on this subtopic. What do you call that? I need an editor. I need somebody to do all this shit for me, so I don't have to think. are some conclusions. I think the data supports some basic conclusions. I will talk about it. Opiates generally are accepted to diminish sex drive and function in especially males, and that's the perspective I'm going to speak from because it's what I am, for better or for worse. Anecdotally, I've seen opiates increase sex drive in both sexes, for short periods of time or occasional use, that kind of thing. But chronic use, typically your sex drive drops, sexual function also can be affected, your ability to get wood, your ability to get off. They can be affected for either sex by chronic opiate use. As a guy, and having tried all of the drugs with being fortunate enough to experience a lot of this with very willing, supportive, adventurous partner, one of the things that we got to explore as part of vetting a new drug or trying something new was, what does it do to your sex drive? What does it do to your sexual function? And if you are familiar with Sasha Shulgin and his books and experiments with tryptophans and phenolphthaleamines, his longtime partner, actually, one of the things she was quoted with was, if you can't have sex on a substance, what good is it? And, I think that's a healthy approach, and that will actually keep you clear of a lot of the nasty drugs. Highly recommend watching the documentary on their life. It's called Dirty Pictures. You can look it up. I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube. It's available. It won't cost you anything. It's worth checking out. He's often credited as being the inventor of MDMA, which psychologically, like an aphrodisiac, and also physically has been GHB. And that is a substance that has ticked all the boxes. It does not impair your physical sexual function. In fact, most people report that it enhances in several ways. I don't think I need to get any more specific than that. You can look it up. It also increases libido. With females, it seems to be mixed reviews. So, and unfortunately, there's just a lot less data for that kind of thing. There just isn't the sample of women out there talking about their sexual experience on given drugs. Seems to be a more common thing with men. So, GHB, 2 thumbs up. It's actually all around. I think it is a really great drug if used responsibly. It's extremely safe. There's all kinds of good things about it when compared to a lot of other drugs. It's not without its perils, and maybe someday I'll get into talking about specific drugs and what to be careful of. Have encountered some extremely frightening situations with GHB. In fact, believe it or not, one of the most terrifying experiences I've had on any drug was on GHB. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, fucking knew you did this or didn't do that, or it wasn't GHB. And back to you, sir, I say, no, you fucking knew. Whatever you think you know about drugs and drug testing and pretty much anything, I'll take you to school. So it's just a story I'll relate another time, maybe. I don't know, maybe not. I know, talking to people or listening to people on drugs can be frustrating because everybody who's used a drug thinks they're an expert. They think, I used whatever years ago. And, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but people who think they're experts are really annoying to those of us who are. I guess I'll leave it at that. So what can you do? And really I'm gearing this towards people who might be on opiates for chronic pain management or opiate replacement therapy for problems with addiction. Whatever reason you're taking opiates daily or frequently and your sex drive is tanked. Well, unfortunately, I just don't have a lot of good news for you. This is, I guess, if there is a spot where I say abandon all hope, all ye who enter here, this would be it. I don't writ large discourage people from trying opiates like a lot of people do, and maybe someday I'll change my mind because opiates are so powerful and destructive potentially. But I have a hard time, in all honesty, saying to people, no, if you're responsible, you can't use this. It's that And this is one of those things where, you know, it really is a downside to using drugs chronically. And believe me, it is not the only side effect that should concern you for chronic opiate use. There's myriad effects, psychological, emotional, physical, that make opiates a very, very bad choice for chronic abuse. So if you are thinking about using them or dabbling in them already, don't take them for more than 2 days in a row. You know, if you want to go on a weekend binge, okay. But on day 3, you have got to walk away from them. Walk away from them for a week. What got me was, I use them one day, I wake up in the morning, I feel like shit. I always feel like shit when I wake up in the morning. I hate life. I know that the morning will just be so much better if I just take opiate of choice. It's just going to be so much better. It's going to be so much easier, and then I'll get through the day. And listen to me. If this is you, you're fucked. You need to drop what you're doing, put your pencils down, and I don't know, cut your hands off, or staple your tongue to your forehead, whatever it takes, but you gotta stop now. If you can take them for a day and then walk away from them and leave them, you're alright. 2 days, I feel like you could be playing with fire. If you're taking them 3 days and you really can't stop yourself on that 3rd day, it's just a matter of time. You're past the tipping point. Don't fuck around. Do whatever you have to do to get yourself away from, like, go on a vacation. Buy a plane ticket and just go somewhere warm. Rent yourself some company. Do whatever you need to do to distract yourself for a few days to get that out of your system. You know, if you have to spend a shit ton of money taking an unplanned vacation or something, or I don't know, go out and buy a motorcycle and drive it. See how far you can get in 3 days. I don't know. Just be alert, because it kind of does sneak up on you. And once it's stuck up on you, you know, like with me, I reached a certain point and I could quit, and then I could not quit. And Jesus, you were going to run right through that red light. I know you were. That's why I got a dash cam. Risking my life. Your inattentiveness. Reckless behavior. Reckless! About the only thing I found that helps, and this is something I found, I'm getting older, you know? I'm not a spring chicken, I'm in my 40s. And things don't work necessarily as well as they used to. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if they ever work as well as they should. It's another story. I hate to be the guy to just say solve your problem with drugs, but if you're in a slump, and this, you know, it's one thing if you're in a relationship and you've got a loving, caring, supportive partner, get you through. It's a whole other level of stress if you are you stunned? You're gonna run a red light and then you just drift over into my lane and take my place. WTF. If you are not necessarily monogamous, or you're out there with somebody new, it can be a lot of stress. Well, it's a lot of stress. You've got two things you got to overcome. First thing is the whole drug use thing, which you probably already have broached that, right? You probably picked up this person at the methadone clinic, right? That's where, or you 13 steppers or whatever. I got you. But it can be a whole lot of stress to be trying to get to know someone new, and your junk ain't so reliable anymore, or you just don't, you're not really feeling it. And these are things that can make or break a relationship. And I've been through both ways there. I have a master's degree in this, virtually. About the only thing I can suggest to you guys is what I found was helpful: Cialis. You're smart enough, you were able to procure illicit drugs, opiates, whatever. You're smart enough to figure out how to procure some good quality, generic Indian pharmaceutical Cialis. Skip Viagra, that shit is garbage. It doesn't work. It gives you tachycardia, it can fuck with your vision. Levitra, it's better, but Cialis, it's in its own class. Interestingly, if you feel like you don't have access to this shit, you don't want to talk to your doctor, because I'll tell you, you don't want to talk to your doctor about this because you can't afford it if you're getting it from the pharmacist. In Canada here, it's 20 to 25 bucks for a dose, and Pharmacare don't cover it, sweetheart. But if you want to be sneaky, get trazodone. Go to your doctor, tell your doctor you need help with sleep, what have you. Trazodone is, I don't know, I don't think it's a maybe it is a first-gen antidepressant. It's not really used for its intended purpose anymore. It's pretty much used off-label, largely for sleeping disorders. And it is actually good. It's one of the few things that I find is good for sleeping. But here's a dirty little secret. Trazodone is also used, or used to be used, to treat erectile dysfunction. And in fact, if you do some digging and you read about good old trazodone, in trials, it was found to actually be similarly effective as Viagra in treating ED. Now, the reason that Viagra took off was it was, I'm not gonna, I'm overstepping my boundaries and presenting that kind of conclusion, but obviously it's sedative, which is not good for sexual dysfunction. But, and there's probably other things, I don't know, there might be other side effects, but it's actually really good for sleep, and it's really good for boners. And say, okay, well, it's not a physical problem. And I'll tell you, when you start getting erections all the time again, especially in your sleep, and don't lie to me, I know you're not getting wood at night like you used to. When that starts happening, and you start having sexy dreams, and you start waking up, and what's on your mind? Sex. And do not underestimate the difference that will make in your libido and your sexual performance, your confidence, all of the above. So I didn't even realize exactly where I was going with this, with the whole, because I forget, not everybody knows this little secret about trazodone. It's like my gift to you, and your gift to me you can either just send me money directly, or you can subscribe and press all the buttons, whatever it is you do that makes this thing so that I can afford to do this instead of doing a job, right? Got it. So if you listen to this whole video, which is fuck knows how long, a lot longer than you wanted to, but there actually is a surprise. This is not clickbait. This is the poor man's ED medication, and try it and tell me I'm a liar. Does sort of cause dry mouth for me, but otherwise helps you sleep, helps get the blood flowing to those regions again, and that does, the tail wags the dog, almost literally in this case. If you can get the machinery going, or the machinery gets going on its own, you're going to start thinking about it and dreaming about it, and don't underestimate the difference that will make. So yeah, you're welcome, and happy boners, I guess.